back to WRPB Studios. I am joined today by Andrea and Aurora Ortega from Kids Castle Christian Academy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. So tell me, what is Kids Castle?
So, Kids Castle Christian Academy is a brand new open learning concept preschool on the Treasure Coast. We're actually the first open concept on the Treasure Coast. It's definitely a unique style of learning that we introduce towards early learning. So it's pretty awesome.
So you say open style. What does that
Mhm.
mean?
So that means that we have no walls. Our building is entirely open, and we have stations as our classrooms.
Okay.
So instead of having dramatic play being a kitchen and maybe a little table, we have an entire career center. So we have our grocery store, we have our diner, we have a puppet stage with a stage and costumes. It's very in depth for sure.
That's fun. What age kids do you take care of?
So right now we're doing a 2 through 5. So those in the potty training process, all the way to those who are 5 and missed the cutoff date for kindergarten.
And also after school too.
Yeah, we also
And
have after school for elementary students and before school for them as well.
What gave you the idea to do something along this line?
So I fell into it by accident. Her best friend is my old boss. So I needed scholarship hours and
So when she was
17.
when she was 17, she needed the scholarship hours. So I didn't want her to go into any job that where she could be in danger, as a mom protecting her daughter. So I asked my best friend, "Hey, can you give her the hours?" And she said, "Yeah, of course." So she fell in love with the career, and actually she was going to study for a veterinarian, and she went for a psychology oriented in children and families, especially children. And I am a pastor of a children's ministry.
Hmm.
Kingdom Fellowship Ministries is the name of my church. So we decided to do the school as a ministry of our church.
So, doing the school as a ministry, it's not like a regular daycare center.
Right. So
Right.
we are still licensed. DCF is still like our
Overseeing us.
overseer,
Okay.
but we are an extension of the FCCPSA. That's the Florida Coalition for Private School, Private Private Christian
Christians.
Schools. Yes, it's a mouthful for sure. Yeah, they have been a huge blessing in helping us and directing us into where what to do, and they've been awesome. But yes, so being religious exempt under them, we are allowed to do this ministry. So it's not like a regular daycare. It's much more than that.
How does the funding work for you? Is it different than in a traditional daycare setting?
Well, we had no funding. I actually sold my house in Mexico
Oh,
to be
wow.
able to afford this. And even like that, I was short. So it's been God.
It's been really running off
It's
of
it's
God,
it's been
and
it's been
yeah.
challenging because we have been paying rent for almost a year without any funds coming in,
Oh, wow.
plus all the build out costs.
Hmm.
The
Flooring. When
architects, the
we
general
found
contractors.
this building, it was an old arcade that was raided by the police.
Oh,
So it was a mess.
So it was a mess. When we came in, was like, but that was the only thing we found in the Treasure Coast in that was like like affordable
hmm,
and in
We
the area
love
that we wanted.
And my main thing when I started, I wanted to be a forest school, which is different, definitely, for Florida because you find them up north, but not really down here.
hmm.
And my dream was to have like a wooded area. I've had one in one of the schools that I worked at. It was amazing because we could take the kids on nature walks. They could, do a bunch of nature activities, and we have an indoor playground, which is amazing because it works really nice for like the rainy days, the hot days.
Mhm.
But the playground for the forest nature school aspect of it is not there. But we kept getting brought back here and brought back here and brought back here, and I know that we don't know it yet, but God does. He knows why we're there, and He's going to give us that aspect that we look for. in
They
the
had
future.
already said no to us 2 times before.
Really?
Yeah.
And one day I was like, I was in that period of time when you're waking up and I had a vision in my mind of the preschool, and it was a blue building with the decals like on in the windows because it has like big windows. And I called the realtor, and he said, you know, the landlord has said no 2 times. I'm like, I know, but just please ask him today. Well, that day he said yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So,
It was God. Definitely it was God.
it's amazing how things work when they're supposed to.
Yes.
Who knows the reason that you got the nose previously? Maybe you weren't ready.
100%.
Maybe what was going to happen
That's
wasn't
right.
in the plan yet.
It was definitely that. It was definitely us, trying to take over and rush things, and we wanted it so badly because rent, and mainly rent,
Mhm.
and this and that. But you know what? When we came together in the building and we got on the floor and we got on our knees and we just prayed and we just gave it to God. That day, everything started coming together. Everything started rolling in. We were able to get in contact with the fire marshal and Kathy Townsend, the county commissioner.
She was a blessing.
She, specializes in helping small business open.
Mhm.
So she,
She put everything together.
once we just gave it to God and let go ourselves, everything started working out.
She sat in a table in the county.
Mhm.
She sat the building department, the permits, and the fire marshal, and said, okay, what do we need to open them?
Wow.
And she made things happen, and it's a blessing. Johnny Stamp, which is he's a personal close friend of us, he introduced us to her, and she's been a big blessing.
She's awesome.
Yes, and also, yeah, the reason we want to do this is because we want to reach the kids first,
Mhm.
putting God in their minds as they're when they're little, because until they're 7 years old, the subconscious, whatever they receive in their subconscious, is what the life that they're going to have in their futures.
Right.
So we want to put them like close to God,
Give them a
so
head
they
start.
so they have a better future than in any other school that they don't care about anything of that nature.
Now, is the admission process, are you bringing in kids strictly from the church?
No.
Or
That's
No,
the
no, no.
goal. So the goal is to reach everybody. And then through our school, we can get their families and we can, talk to their families and say, hey, there is a opportunity that we have that is so much better than anything else we can experience. And that's Jesus. I'm telling you, once you put God in the center of your life, everything works together for good.
And the academic part of it is also very professional. The kids are already learning colors and shapes and the first steps for reading. So when they go into kindergarten, they're already ready.
that's great. Now, you
They're
mentioned,
or ahead of the rest.
yeah, you mentioned that it's an open learning concept. So you have different areas that the kids work in.
Yes.
Do the older kids work with the younger kids, or how
do.
does it all go?
Yeah,
So mixed age groups are really fun. So for example, today we were in the Marine Science Center, and this is books, this is puzzles, this is ocean bingo, this is different things like that. The older kids will help the younger kids if they're building something, or let's say they're having a tough time understanding how to put this puzzle piece in. The older kids can guide them and they can help them, and it helps the youngers advance,
Mhm.
and it helps the olders feel like they have a sense of responsibility. It kind of calms them down a little bit,
Sure.
rather than having a whole bunch of older kids together and them feeding off of each other's energy. It definitely gives them like, okay, I'm a leader, I'm assigned to this group, this friend, and I
It's-
can help them.
It's an open concept, but you can imagine we have a lot of kids, and all of them are organized and they know what to do when to go into that center. They cannot leave that center to go to another center on their own.
We stay in groups.
We stay in groups.
Right. So,
Nice.
and that's the really fun part about the open concept, because you have a lot of parents that they think it's daycare, they think it's babysitting, they don't understand. Okay, we went to school for this. This is
Right.
early learning education. It's a very I mean, it's the reason why everyone is the way that they are, is because of their childhood. So if we can give them that safe environment where they can learn and you know, they can explore in ways that they're meant to, which is by hands-on learning.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if we're doing our letter A, we might do a letter A craft where they're, you know, gluing beads to the letter, but they're also looking for the letter in a sensory bin, in a sandbox. You know, everything pertains to hands-on learning. Kids
We
grow
want
from the
to-
inside out.
We want to facilitate this to parents, and our tuition is very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Being a complete private school, no government a subsidy or anything, it's we are very affordable, and we provide lunch,
Yeah.
Oh, very
breakfast, lunch, and snack.
And they're all organic
Great.
meals. A lot of it is that holistic approach to it. You know, we want to teach kids at a young age what food does for our bodies, that it's fuel. And, you know, depending on what fuel we use is how we're going to feel, is how we're going to act, is, you know, it makes a big difference.
I am the one preparing the food, and let
You
me tell you, I
experience.
buy everything in the best supermarket, and I buy everything organic, and I am, you know, because of the cost,
Right.
I'm gonna get this one. No, I cannot give the kids something that I will then give to my family, so it's they're very well taken care of,
That's fantastic.
and they love my food.
They're always like, "Oh, Miss Aurora, what are you making today?"
Yes. Yeah.
So, how many kids can you accommodate?
So we can accommodate for 80 kids. The fire marshal gave us to 104, but under our licensing, it's 80.
And is it so many kids per age group, or is it just 80 kids in general?
So it's 80
80
kids
kids.
in general, based off of that group. So we can have 12 in marine science, 12 in nature science, 12 in language and literacy, 12 in the STEM zone. So they're all still, you know, in groups,
Mhm.
rotating type of ordeal.
So you kind of facilitate that portion of it to make sure that, I'm guessing, you have the right number of kids, that you're not going to lose their attention.
Right, the
You know,
balance.
it's
yes.
probably difficult having 60 kids in one room
Oh, 100%.
and keeping attention when
Mhm.
this one over here might be having a bad day and
With-
screaming.
Well,
and
it's a big
Yes.
it's a big room. It's 4,200 square feet.
Yes.
So it's a big area.
And that's, I like your question, because a lot of people, like I said, they think it's babysitting, they think it's daycare. They're like, how can they do that? How are they going to have an open place and expect the kids, you know? It's classroom management. It all goes down to classroom management. How your reward system, your positive reinforcement. If you tell one kid, I love how you're sitting on this carpet, you're sitting so nicely, you're giving your friends plenty of space, watch how quick the rest of them go.
Yep,
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
classroom management.
that's fantastic. I can remember, you know, taking care of some preschool kids and,
Mhm.
you know, setting those rules, but reinforcing them every time we got
Exactly.
together.
Yes.
And, you know, it was one little girl, funny little girl, she was from the South, but you'd have thought she was from the Bronx. She, you know,
That's funny.
and if we misbehave, she'd go, "You put 'em in the corner."
That's hilarious.
But, I mean, these 2 and 3-year-old minds
Mhm.
knew what was going on.
They know.
You know,
Right.
it's impressive to see how intelligent kids are
Yes.
at such a young age.
We underestimate them a lot. A lot of parents underestimate their kids. Their kids know so much more than they give them credit for.
So what's the ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is for them to have a foundation where they're prepared and they're ready to go into the world with
Exactly.
creative thinking, with problem solving, with emotional intelligence, for them to go in already having those basic skills, so that, you know, when they get a little bit older, they know that's in their subconscious, that I can solve this problem. Like today we had our book. So the characters in the book, they were having a problem about, one kid wanted to make a spaceship, one kid wanted to make a train out of these blocks. They worked together, they made a space rocket, a space train, or whatever it was. It's just working together, people skills.
And also the open concept is really good because people are used to be in close walls, so they it's easier for them to focus or concentrate. Actually, in the libraries they put like these two walls here,
Cubicles.
cubicles,
Mhm.
and like this in an open concept, they are able to be doing their work fully concentrated, even though whatever is happening out there, they are doing their work like in a tremendous,
They're able to focus.
very good way.
It teaches them how to focus,
So-
even though there's other things.
So these kids are learning that, life isn't about four walls.
Exactly.
You have to learn to
You need
adapt
to
to the
open their
surroundings around
minds,
you.
Yeah.
make them creative, like take the potential that they have in life. And that's the reason, I mean, I know moms like to pamper their kids. No, they're staying with me. I'll take them to school later. But it's so important that they it's cultivating a plant. And you give them all the nutrients that they need to prepare them for the future.
What kind of message would you give to parents who are looking for preschool or daycare that aren't quite sure what direction to go in?
So I always tell the parents, go with your gut. You could have the worst school, but that one good teacher that changes everything, or you could have the best school and maybe you don't get the best vibe from one teacher. It's always your gut. Go with what you know is right. And then also do your research and make sure that this school cares about what they're doing and it's not just a moneymaker, or it's not just, daycare, it's somewhere to put your kids while you go to work. Make sure that they actually care about what they do and that you can see that light and that passion in each person that is with your child for 8 hours of that day.
And it's important to put them in school. I know you enjoy, me as a parent, I enjoy being with my two kids, but it's very important to put them in a school, like I said, to prepare them not only for school but for life.
And not just any school, like what we said, it's different. 100% is different. It's
yeah.
teaching them that the world is your oyster. You have so many gifts and talents that God has given you. You can do literally anything that you put your mind to. You just got to explore. Yeah.
We're coming around to the end of our time. Tell me, how can people reach you if they're interested in more information?
Yeah, so our phone number is 772-877-1187, and that's where you can call us and you can schedule a tour. You can get to a little bit more information about us. We also have our website and a Facebook page, so.
The website is www.kidscastleca.com.
And our Facebook is the same. You'll find us on Instagram as well, so.
We're out there.
Kids Castle Christian Academy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
for
Aurora,
having
Andrea.
us.
It's been great having you. For more information, make sure that you visit kidscastleca.com. Be sure to take the time. Your kids are your most valuable resource and certainly your most precious. Don't just leave them in anybody's hands. Reach out to the folks here at Kids Castle so that they can help you in helping to develop your children. We'll be back.